How many people think they know how to develop good introductions and conclusions for a speech? The purpose of my speech is to inform you on how to develop good intros and good conclusions. My name is Ronald Williams, and I am currently a football player at YSU, and I'm pursuing a degree in communications with hopes of owning a funeral home. I decided to do this topic because I felt personally myself I do not do a good job at developing good introductions and good conclusions in my speeches. First, in my speech, I'll be discussing the do's and don'ts of a good conclusion and good introduction. When writing an introduction, it is important to get the audience's attention with a story, quotation, personal experience, or something of that sort. Also, identify the topic and indicate why it is relevant, important, and interesting. Establish credibility, background, and definitions that the listener might need. Also, it's important to state your purpose or thesis. Preview the body of your speech in your introduction. So, in other words, give like a little rundown of what you're going to be saying when you're giving your speech. A few things that you don't want to do is start with or okay. You also don't want to apologize for weakness in your context or preparation. And you also don't want to complain or use cheap tricks to get people's attention. A few do's for conclusions would be summarize the main points of your speech, reinstate the purpose of your thesis with great closure and a sense of finality. And also, in persuasive speeches, you can also make final calls for commitment or action. Now, what you shouldn't do would open new areas of discussion or argument, or change your position or viewpoint. Also, you shouldn't resort to feeble closing phrases like, and that's all I have to say, or say thank you just because the audience doesn't seem to realize that your speech is over. A few tricks that I learned from doing this project would be not to use humor, because in my previous speeches I thought maybe starting off with a joke would be kind of like a good way to catch the audience's attention. Another trick I would say to do is just know your material and practice what you have to say. A few ideas for the future of my blog would be I hope to add a few new essays and examples so people can get a better idea of what a good introduction conclusion looks like. And then maybe I'll add a few bad examples of each so people can get a few ideas of what that looks like. I would also like to add a comment section to my posts because I'd like to see if this blog has helped anybody else write any papers. I'd also accept constructive criticism on my essays and blogs. In conclusion, I hope that after listening to my speech, I hope to give a better insight on how to write a better conclusion introduction to your papers. Thank you for listening once again. I hope I made your introduction and conclusion writing experience a little bit easier.